Okay, what are we waiting for? I'm ready to leave now. That can be the feeling that you have as a manifesting generator, which is what today's video is about. My dear manifesting generators, you have a lot of energy and you are moving so fast through life. You have the gift of having energy both to initiate things to a certain extent, which comes from the manifestor part of you, and to have endurance to keep going. So you are like a sprint and a marathon at once. Welcome to Next Level Consciousness. Today we will learn everything about manifesting generators in human design. I'm not gonna dive into human design for the sake of this video, but it is a system for self-awareness. And self-awareness is the key to next level consciousness. That is why I am so passionate about human design as one of the tools. But there are 5 energy types in human design. You can also look up yours on the link down below for free. You just need to know your birth time. And if it says that you are a manifesting generator, then this video is for you. It's also for you if you know that you're a manifesting generator, but maybe you are quite new to human design. So some people consider manifesting generator to be a subtype of generator and not its own independent type. And that is because they have the same strategy, which is the golden rule for how they move through life. We're gonna look into that shortly. But I have chosen to make them as 2 separate videos because the way that they work can be quite different, the way that they move through the world. So what is typical for manifesting generators and not necessarily for classic generators is that manifesting generators are multitaskers. And they often thrive when they are allowed to do many things at once. And that comes from the manifestor part in them. This means that as a manifesting generator, you are highly creative. You probably have a lot of ideas, and you're also, as I showed you in the intro, impatient. And you want to get everything done like yesterday. And this can be a gift. But if you feel like you get into a lot of frustration, you get into those cycles where you just relive the same lesson in life over and over, it is a sign that maybe there is something more, because you are more than just your human design, you are an infinite human. So maybe there can be some core wounds also around sticking to things and around keep going with things. But that being said, know that it is normal for you to want to have a lot of different things going at once. And you're also energetically wired to be able to sustain a lot of things at the same time. But the way that you can distinguish, is this healthy for me or not, is how you feel about it, because your emotions are always messengers telling you whether or not you're on the right path. Every energy type has an emotion that shows up if they are like going a little astray, they're not in alignment with their design, they're not in the flow. And for you as a manifesting generator, that feeling is frustration. That is your not self theme. Okay, so if you feel a lot of frustration, you feel stuck, you feel like you can't really achieve anything that you desire, that is a sign that you are not really following your design. And I'm gonna come to the most important part of your design when it comes to keeping you in alignment. On the other hand, if you are really in flow, you are living your design fully, you're not comparing yourself to others or how you should live, you will experience what's called your signature theme. And that is the feeling that tells you like, yes, you are right on track, keep going. And to you, as a manifesting generator, that is satisfaction. So watch out for those 2 emotions in your life. Do I feel more frustration? Do I feel more satisfaction? And in what specific situations do the 2 emotions show up? Because they are your guides, in particular as a manifesting generator. And if you watch the other videos about manifestors and generators, you know that I talked about the role that energy type has in co-creating the new world, the next level consciousness world that we are currently building as humans. And the role of the manifesting generator is quite similar to the generator. It is to do things, to execute, to build. That is what comes naturally for you. Because remember, you are a marathon and a sprint at once. So you have the capacity to initiate under certain conditions, but you also have the capacity to keep going. And if we talk about like ordinary life terms, that means that you are quite well suited for a normal 9-to-5 job if that is something that you want to do. And also in business, you can get a lot done because you have a lot of energy. You don't get burned out as some of the other energy types can get if they keep on working for long hours every day. But I want to tell you the same thing as I told the generators. Just because you have a lot of energy for doing, and you are wired for relatively more doing than being, it doesn't mean that you always have to be productive, okay? You don't always have to do with the aim to achieve. You can do things solely because they bring you joy. You can do things like go out and play, maybe play with a pet or a kid that you know. You can create something, art, because this is another keyword for you as a manifesting generator. The way that you optimize the functioning of your internal engine, because you have the capacity to generate this life force, this prana, is by doing what you enjoy. So this also is similar as for the generator. It is so important that you allow yourself to do the things that bring you joy and not the things that make sense. And this is connected to your strategy as a manifesting generator, which is to respond. And that means that the way that you move through life with as little effort and as much flow as possible is by responding to things and not initiating that much, because you can still initiate a little when you get a yes from your gut instinct. So the whole to respond thing means that you sense into your body when you get presented an opportunity, an offer. It can be something to have for dinner, a job offer, a relationship, like big and small. But in every situation in life, when you need to make a decision, it will be a lot easier for you if you have something to react to, something to respond to. And what is this response? It is a physical feeling, a gut feeling. So your intuition speaks to you in a very clear and loud way compared to some of the other types of intuition you can have in human design. So it can feel like expansion if it's a yes. It can feel like that hell yes feeling in your body, like energy running through your body. And if it is a no, it can feel either like you're neutral, your body doesn't react, or even that you are taking a step back. You're backing off. That means that it is a no for you. So many manifesting generator, they actually recognize this gut feeling, this bodily reaction to life and its opportunities. But we are so conditioned to listen to the head over the intelligence in your body. But if you look at a human design chart, if you've ever seen one, there are only 2 energy centers in the head and 7 in the body. All the energy centers contain intelligence. So by only using the 2 in the head, we are neglecting 7 out of 9 centers of intelligence for decision. And especially for you as a manifesting generator, you need to listen to the gut instinct, because that is the energy center, the sacral center, that speaks the loudest to you and that gives the unbiased opinion, the right answer in every moment. So that is my number 1 tip to you as a manifesting generator. Connect to your gut feeling, listen to it, and learn to actually trust it and follow it. That will make a huge difference in your life. And I know, because I'm a human design reader, I've done over 150 readings. And many times when I work with generators and manifesting generators who have this gut feeling, I tell them to start to trust it in small situations in life. Instead of going to the head, does this make sense? Is it logical? What does other people think? Listen to your gut instinct. What is that instinctual reaction? And then many of them come back a couple months later and they say, I started to follow my gut and my life has completely transformed. So it's really such a powerful tool that you have access to. It is your unfair advantage as a manifesting generator. So really listen to your gut. If there is one thing that you remember from this video, that is the thing that will make the biggest difference. So as I told you, manifesting generators are real powerhouses. They have more energy than any other energy types. And when you get that affirmative yes response from your body, you can also initiate things. That is just starting things without permission from someone. And this is something that I recommend you to tell your loved ones, the people around you, maybe if you have colleagues, business partners. It's so much easier for you, because of this tendency to respond, to make a decision when you have options. Open-ended questions can leave you feel very overwhelmed and frustrated. It is better to have the option, okay, do you want to go on a holiday to Spain or to Canada? Then you can feel, okay, what felt like a yes? Then where do you want to go on vacation? And you have 197 countries in the world to choose between. It can also be a smaller situation. Do you want pizza or hamburgers for dinner? Instead of what do you want for dinner? So that's a little hack also for you as a manifesting generator. An important distinction from the generators is that you are not necessarily wired to complete everything that you initiate. So you are not always meant to read a book from A to Z. Maybe you just read 10 pages, and those 10 pages was the exact medicine you needed. The other part of the book would just have been wasted time. So I encourage you to trust your gut instinct if you feel like you are losing interest for something. Because for generators, completing looks like starting something and then completing it before they launch the next project or go on the next adventure. So generators in general have a more linear energy. You have a very non-linear energy, a much more like feminine, flowy energy that doesn't always make sense. So trust your energy. If you don't feel that excitement about something, it is not for you anymore. And where this can cause problems is once again if you feel that frustration. And that is when I encourage you to look into, do I have some conditioning? Do I have some core wounds around completing things? Maybe you have a fear of not being good enough. Or maybe you have perfectionism. So you feel like, okay, I can't keep going because I'm not perfect. I need to wait until I am perfect. So I want you to be aware of that distinction. That yes, you are more of a multitasker. And it can be more correct for you to finish things halfway compared to the plan than it is for other types. But don't let that be an excuse that holds you back from actually fulfilling the things that you are meant to fulfill. Because it can also be easy for you to identify yourself like, okay, I just start things and I don't stick to them. Because if we want to go anywhere in life and if we want to have experiences that are deeply meaningful and fulfilling, we need to find a way to stick into things. I really believe that consistency, commitment, and devotion is what's going to give you that deeply fulfilling life. But your path to commitment may look different from the generator. That's why I love human design. So let's say that you start a YouTube channel. For you, it may be more correct to allow yourself to improvise a little more and to talk about many different topics, to have a niche that is a little broader. So let's say a generator may start a YouTube channel about human design, and it's like only human design. But for you as a manifesting generator, that may feel too limiting because you need a lot of play, you need a lot of freedom, a lot of improvisation. So maybe you start a channel about personal development. And sometimes you talk about human design, sometimes you talk about meditation techniques and productivity. So it's still contained, but you allow yourself more space to play. And that is also something I encourage you to create in your day-to-day life. More space to play, to have fun, to just go with the flow. You need that in order to get your inner engine going and for it to work at optimal capacity. But if you feel like you started a course or you started to read a book, you started a new job, and you feel like this is really not for me, it is draining me, I don't have this excitement, that can generate frustration and ultimately lead to burnout, and you will not work at your optimal performance. But what I encourage you to do, if you feel like finishing something halfway, is to ask yourself, what did I learn about this? And maybe you can also energetically finish it. That can be helpful. To do some kind of ritual, maybe do a little ceremony for yourself, something where you're like, okay, I now declare this completed and finished. As a manifesting generator, you don't always know beforehand, do I actually want to do this thing? So it can be a little challenging for you to plan on beforehand. Even things like planning what you want to eat for the week and go to the supermarket and like, okay, I'm gonna shop food for 7 days. It can be hard because, you know, okay, now in this moment I want to eat a salad. But how would I know what I want to eat tomorrow? I have no idea. You are a little more living in the moment than many of the other energy types. And it can also be that you made plans with friends a couple of days ago, and then when it's time to see them, you feel like, oh, I really don't feel like doing this anymore, but now I feel kind of bad for canceling last minute. A hack that you can do is 1, live your design as much as you can. Get to know yourself as much as possible, because then you will find yourself less and less in situations that you regret entering or that you regret saying yes to. But the second thing is that when you get presented an option, even if you feel a yes in the moment, visualize yourself doing the thing. Visualize yourself going to that concert on Friday with your friends. Does it feel like a yes? Does it feel like a no? And if your head says like, oh, but right now it sounds exciting, but you feel like, when I visualize myself there, I don't really feel that spark, then it's a no. And also tell your friends that this is how you work and it's nothing personal. You are a more spontaneous and impulsive by nature. That is just how you are energetically wired, because you are a very fun and adventurous and spontaneous type. But of course, as humans, sometimes we need to plan. And these tips can hopefully help you to be a little more in the planning mode while respecting your own energetic fluctuations. And also remember that your energy moves unusually fast. Manifesting generators comprise about 33% of all the humans. Remember that it is natural for people around you, especially projectors, reflectors, also generators, to be a little more slow moving, to need a little more time, and to have patience with them and know that that's just how they are naturally wired. On the flip side, you may have experienced that people are telling you, oh, but you need to slow down, you're going too fast, you need to take a break, you need to rest. And you feel, but I have the energy to do this. And that is because everyone speaks from their energy. That's the only thing they know. But as long as your gut says yes, as long as you feel that excitement, you can keep going. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next vid.